6:11. I'm gonna go work these rocks. Some rocks down here, rocks to the south, rocks to the north. I'm gonna hit hard structure today because the soft structure has been really loaded with shorts. So I'm gonna try to hit the hard structure and see if we could pull some larger class fish out. Same thing for me, half-ounce bucktail, 5-inch jerk shad, white, and a 4-inch swimming mullet on a 2.0 bait holder, Gamakatsu bait holder hook. I really don't deviate from that for the most part. So I'm going to start to the right of the rocks. The current is going from right to left. So I'm going to try to pull it along and then let it sweep. But I'm going to work this right side of the rocks first. You can see it's deep on this left side here, but it's pretty shallow over there. So I'll just work this deep area and the ledge leading from shallow to deep, and then I'll work my way north. The water is so warm. That guy was right in those rocks. I mean, right in those rocks. On the bucktail. Not huge, but not a garbage fish. Probably in that 16 mark. But yeah, I mean, this guy was like up against that rock. I casted like what I thought was a little bit too far into the rocks. I basically hit them, and I was a little nervous about it. I didn't want to get snagged, and he whacked it. So sometimes you got to get right up in there because the rocks give him that little refuge, and they give him a little bit of supply of bait. So there's food in there that they're gonna want. Man, they're in close over here. Come on, man. These fish over here near these rocks are not the micros that we were getting yesterday, so that's nice, but they're still like in that 16 zone. So New Jersey wants us to have 18s. Ooh, that was a hard hit. Man, He hit that like a freight train. There's a lot of them right here. Another nice fish. That D-hooker works like a charm. Absolute must-have. Man, it is just like every cast I'm at least getting bites. A lot of fish over here. But nothing huge. And if you look at these fish compared to those fish that I got in the river the other day, these things are so light in color. They're really beautiful fish. The river is nice. I like fishing the river, but man, I love being on the ocean. Nice, warm, clear water. All right, I will start walking south. I was out here the other day when I came out with my wife and kid. We came to the beach here, and I was able to walk out in this area here at low tide, which I think we're at low tide right now. And there was a pretty pronounced bar that I was able to walk out on, and I fished like a little bit farther out on the left side of those rocks. And that's not there anymore. So that's just something that storm that we had changed. So sometimes when you have those storms, you get a lot of new areas to fish, and your old ones could possibly suck. Which is why I'm not super concerned about spot burning when I'm on the beach. So I edited past my yapping, but what I did here is something that you're never supposed to do. Leave fish to find fish. The unknown is always what gets me, and I always think like there's going to be way more, way bigger fish, and I end up leaving fish that I'm catching. Like I was catching a lot of fish there, and it was really good, but I was like, they're small, I'm going to keep moving. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, here's our next rock pile. You could see there's a whole bunch of fishing area here. There's the left side of it, which has all these areas that I definitely want to fish. There's this little pocket in here. If I can reach, I'd like to get all the way out to those rocks. Like I can spend probably, 45 minutes here if I'm not catching anything. And if I start catching stuff, I could potentially be here for the rest of the morning. So I'm gonna drop my cooler and we're gonna start from left to right, just start working it. So there are a lot of rocks, submerged rocks in here. So I'm gonna wanna hit this for a while, and I'm gonna wanna bring it all the way in, because you can see, and they're here. So there's deep water right here, right in front of me. So I'm gonna wanna hit that also. So as I cast out, I'm gonna come through the rocks, and then I'll bring it all the way into me, right to the beachlet. You subscribed yet? I mean, this channel is like the only channel that's giving you basically an up-to-date fishing report of New Jersey. I'm fishing, what, 3-4 videos a week on New Jersey fishing, and I'm on fluke now. Bass is coming, and I fish 12 months a year. January, February, I'm out here bundled up. Even before the GoPro, that's what I was doing, and I'll be doing it this year. So go ahead and subscribe. It's nobody else is doing this. See, ask and you shall receive. That's a stargazer. Watch how he digs in. Crazy. Gone, right? That's a stargazer. He's gone right now. You can barely see, and if you mess with him, that's where, right where my bucktail is where that little W on his head, where he'll shock me. So I'm gonna pull him up. And this is really hard to do in the sand. Like, you know, what's up, buddy?
So great.
How are you?
Dude.
So coming up, I've run into another YouTuber, Jason Wilk. He has a page on here. Really super nice guy, but I was facing the shoreline. So I'm basically putting on display everything about where I was. I don't want to be that blatant with it, so I'm going to edit this down, and you could probably only see this guy like nipple down, but I apologize. Really nice guy. I'll put a link to his page on here, Jason. It's nice meeting you, and I apologize for the editing. I'm not very good at all this blurring and all this other stuff, so I'm just cutting it out here.
Dude, I met a local legend, Mr. Joe Gray. He has some awesome surf fishing videos. I will put check his channel out in the comments of this video.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, how have you been doing?
Not bad. How about you?
I'm pretty good.
Stargazer.
Yeah. All right. What I did was, I always come here 50 minutes before sunrise.
Right.
We do the SP minnows, right?
Right.
My wife got a 19-inch keeper right over there.
Right.
On the SP, and I got a 25-inch bonus tag bass. Not that little rock pile, the big one.
Right.
To the left.
Nice.
Yeah. So dude, I love it here because it's SPs.
Yeah.
Then the fluke.
Nice.
Yeah. How have you been making out this morning?
Yeah, not bad. A lot of snags.
Yeah.
But you know, the other day the river was really good, and now I'm just trying to work my way through these snags, man.
Beautiful.
Yep. This is my maybe third or fourth rig that I've lost today. So it's not usually like this fishing hard structure. Hey, you know, I don't usually lose this many, but today I'm taking the loss. It's all right though. Win some, lose some. You can't get too worked up about it.
What I was talking about there was I had just lost 4 bucktails, and I had to figure something out because I was losing it in these rocks. These rocks here are loaded with mussels, and it's just grabbing onto everything that I have and holding onto it and breaking me off because the mussel shells can be real sharp. So all I did here was do a 1/4 ounce jig head with a 4-inch swimming mullet and kept my profile real small and tried not to snag as much as I could, and it worked out for me.
The snags were brutal, so if we could figure out a way to get around the snags. I don't want to stop fishing hard structure for today. I want to keep working it because it holds fish. Just got to figure out a way to overcome the snags at this particular area today. And I think this jig head and swimming mullet combo. So this is just a quick trip to get in before I go to work. I'm gonna start fishing my way back to my truck now. But yeah, I mean, so today was kind of tough, but what we did was we set out to fish hard structure, right? And the first area that we hit, that jetty, was really productive. There was a fair amount of fish there. Nothing real big, but I think it was bigger than the soft structure that we've been fishing. And when I came over to this jetty, you know, you could see the rocks here and the gap in between. The gap in between is loaded with some really, really wicked rocks, loaded with mussels and crap. And it just snag after snag. It snagged on my bucktail, my teaser, the jig head with the jerk shad. Nothing was really avoiding the snags. So, learned the lesson a hard way and did the 1/4 ounce jig head with the swimming mullet. It's a very small bait, but it worked. We were able to stay above the rocks and kind of float it. Got caught up a couple times, but I didn't lose it the way I did with the larger profile baits. So unfortunately we only caught 1 fish on that because we lost so many in the process of figuring out what to use. So now I know for next time when I fish this area of structure or areas similar to it with rocks just loaded with mussels, I mean, those mussels are sharp and they grab onto those hooks and don't let go. So those hooks grab it and they hit that. It's almost like a netting that those mussel beds get. So now we know. Lesson learned. Where we were this morning. We have a little bit more water in here now, so try to take a couple casts before